Dear learner, I welcome you all to the MOOC on renewable energy technologies and their uses. I am Dr. Sanjay Agrawal, Associate Professor in Electrical Engineering, School of Engineering and Technology, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Dear learner, in previous lecture we have discussed what is solar radiation and its characteristic. Then we have discussed what is a different type of solar radiation like direct radiation, beam radiation, global radiation. Then we have also discussed Kirchhoff's law of the solar radiation. In this particular session, we will discuss main features of the solar radiation and how to estimate solar radiation on a horizontal surface and on tilted surface. So first of all, we are going to discuss main features of the solar radiation. Sun is continuously radiating energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. These radiation while passing through Earth's atmosphere are subject to absorption by ozone, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and water vapor, and scattering by dust particles, air molecules and water droplets in the atmosphere. As you know, a fraction of the radiation striking the Earth's surface is reflected back into the atmosphere, where it is again absorbed and scattered. The remaining radiation are absorbed by the Earth's surface. So there are some interesting points that you must know. So first point is what? X-rays and extreme ultraviolet radiation are absorbed by the nitrogen, oxygen and other atmospheric gases. Second point that you have to remember that ozone absorbs ultraviolet radiation which have wavelength less than 0.4 micrometer. Third point that you must know that water vapor absorbs infrared radiation which have wavelength greater than 2.3 micrometer. The main component of solar radiation falling on the Earth are the following: short wavelength, that is the optical wavelength radiation from sun reaches the top of the atmosphere. Cloud reflect 17% back into space. If the Earth gets more cloudy, as some climate model predict, more radiation will be reflected back and less will reach the surface. 8% is scattered backwards by the air molecules and 6% is actually directly reflected off the surface back into the space. So the total reflectivity of Earth is 31%, which is technically known as albedo. During ice ages, the albedo of the Earth increases as more of its surface is reflective. You may be wondering what happens to the remaining 69% of the incoming radiation that doesn't get reflected back. So this breakup may be understood by this way, that 19% get absorbed directly by dust, ozone and water vapor in the upper atmosphere. This region is also known as stratosphere and is heated by the absorbed radiation. 4% get absorbed by the clouds located in the troposphere. This is a lower part of the Earth's atmosphere. The remaining 46% of the sunlight that is incident on top of the Earth's atmosphere reaches the surface. Now we are going to discuss how to calculate solar radiation on a tilted surface. Let us consider the solar radiation falling on a surface. The amount of solar radiation on terrestrial surface at a given location for a given time depends on the orientation and slope of the surface. A surface which is always normal to the sun's ray would receive maximum amount of solar radiation. The solar energy collectors may be tilted at a suitable angle so that it is roughly normal to the sun's rays so that maximum energy collection is obtained. If you wish to design any solar energy device, you need to know the data of solar radiation on such tilted surface. However, measured or estimated radiation data are available mostly either for normal incidence or for horizontal surface. It is necessary to convert these data to radiation on tilted surface. Let us consider beam radiation falling on horizontal and tilted surface, as you can see in the figure. So just to assume that this I suffix Bm is the beam radiation at normal incident, and I suffix B is the beam radiation at horizontal surface, and I suffix Bi is the beam radiation at tilted surface. So from the figure we can write this IB is equal to what? IBM cos Z, and IBI is equal to IBN cos I. This Z is a basically angle, this I is also angle. The beam radiation tilt factor RB is then given by RB is equal to IBI upon IB. So what is the value of this IBI? The value of this IBI is IBN cos I, and value of IB is IBN cos Z. So when you are putting the value of IBI and IB for the beam radiation tilt factor RB, then you will find out RB is equal to cos I upon cos Z. A tilted surface receives diffuse radiation as well as reflected radiation from the ground and surroundings in addition to the beam radiation. The diffused sky radiation on the tilted surface at an angle is given by ID multiplied by 1 plus cos S divided by 2, where I suffix D is the diffuse sky radiation on horizontal surface. If the ground and other surface seen by the tilted surface have a diffuse reflectivity, that is tau g, for both beam and diffuse sky radiation, the amount of ground reflected solar radiation on tilted surface is equal to tau g multiplied by 1 minus cos divided by 2 of the total radiation, that is IB plus ID, on the horizontal surface. The beam, diffuse and reflected component can be added to give the total incident radiation, that is IT, on a tilted surface. The total solar radiation on a horizontal surface I is the sum of horizontal beam and diffuse radiation. Now we are going to discuss monthly average of daily total solar radiation on horizontal surface. The computation of solar radiation on a horizontal or tilted surface is not an easy task and requires a complete knowledge of solar geometry and Earth-Sun relationship. However, there are correlations available for estimation of solar radiation at horizontal surface. Ultimately, we need the values of the monthly average of daily solar radiation on a horizontal surface. The correlation for determining monthly average of daily solar radiation on a horizontal surface is given by the following relation, that is capital H upon H naught is equal to small a plus b multiplied by small n upon capital N, where this capital H is equal to monthly average daily solar radiation on a horizontal surface, and H naught is monthly average daily extraterrestrial radiation a horizontal surface, and small n is monthly average daily hours of bright sunshine hours. Capital N is monthly average of maximum possible daily hours of bright sunshine hours. The A and B are the regression parameter and are given by A is equal to 0.309 plus 0.539 cos phi minus 0.0693 E naught plus 0.29 multiplied by small n upon capital N, and value of B is equal to 1.527 minus 1.027 cos phi plus 0.0926 E naught minus 0.359 multiplied by small n upon capital N, where this phi is what? This phi is nothing but it is a latitude, and E naught is equal to elevation of the location above sea level in kilometer. The value of this latitude, that is phi, and E naught, that is elevation of the location above the sea level in kilometers. Now in this table you can see the latitude and elevation of the some places in the India. So here you can see the latitude for Bangalore is 12 degree 59 minute and elevation for Bangalore is 921 meter. And latitude for Mumbai is 18 degree 54 minute north and elevation is 11 meter. And for Jodhpur, the latitude is 26 degree 18 minute north and 224 meter is elevation. For New Delhi, the latitude is 28 degree 35 minute north and elevation is 216 meter. For Shimla, the latitude is 31 degree 06 minute north and elevation is 2202 meter. For Kolkata, latitude is 22 degree 32 minute north and elevation is 6 meter. And for the city Chennai, the latitude is 13 degree and elevation is 16 meter. Now we will discuss one example. So here what you have to do, you have to evaluate the extraterrestrial solar radiation on January 1, June 22 and December 1. So first of all, you can say for the January 1, the value of small n is what? That is 1. And for January 22, the value of small n is 174. So you will count the day starting from the January 1. Like for January 1, the value of small n is 1. Suppose for the January 5, value of small n will be 5. So similarly, you have calculated for the January 22, the value of small n is 174. And for December 21, the value of small n is 355. So you have a equation, that is, if you want to calculate the extraterrestrial solar radiation, so formula is what? This IEXT is equal to IEXT multiplied by 1 plus 0.33 cos 360 multiplied by small n divided by 365. So just you have to put the value of this small n in this particular formula, then you will be able to find out the value. So using equation this IEXT is equal to IEXT 1 plus 0.033 cos 360 n upon 365, we get for value of IEXT for January 1, now because for January 1 the value of small n is what? That is 1. So this IEXT is equal to what? Is equal to 1367 multiplied by 1 plus 0.033 cos 360. Now value of this small n is what? That is 1. So put value n is equal to 1 divide by 365. So after the solving you will get the value, this IEXT for January 1 is equal to 1412 watt per meter square. Now similarly you can calculate the value of this solar radiation for June 22. Now the given formula you have to put the value of n for June 22, that is equal to 174. So just put the value n is equal to 174. So you get IEXT is equal to 1367 multiplied by 1 plus 0.033 cos 360 multiplied by 174 divided by 365. So after the solving you get the value that is equal to 1322 watt per meter square. Similarly you can also calculate the value of the solar radiation for the December 21. Now for December 21, what is the value of this small n? The value of small n for December 21 is equal to 355. So just you have to put the value. So IEXT is equal to 1367 multiplied by 1 plus 0.033 cos 360 multiplied by 355 upon 365. So you get value is equal to 1412 11 watt per meter square. So what we have learned so far? The major portion of the energy of thermal radiation lies in the range from approximately 0.1 micrometer to 100 micrometer. The visible portion of thermal radiation ranges from approximately 0.4 to 0.7 micrometer. The electromagnetic radiation behave like wave as well as particles. The electromagnetic waves are made of small discrete quanta called photons, which travel with the speed of light, and speed of light is what? Is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. The emissive power of a black body is expressed by the Stephan-Voltage-Mann law. The ratio of total emissive power E of real surface to the total emissive power EB of a black body is called the emissivity of the real surface. The monochromatic single wave emissivity is equal to the monochromatic absorptivity for any surface when in thermal equilibrium. This is called the Kirchhoff's law of the radiation. Some surfaces have high absorptivity for radiation in the solar range of the wavelength and low emissivity for the long wave thermal radiation. The radiation received by the earth without any change in the direction is referred to as beam radiation or direct radiation. The diffuse radiation is received by the earth from all directions. The radiation may change their direction after scattering from dust particles, clouds, etc. while passing through atmosphere. The total radiation is the sum of direct radiation and diffuse radiation and is called as global radiation or simply insolation. Solar insolation is defined as the amount of sunshine incident on the surface of the earth. So dear learner, in today's session we discussed main feature of the solar radiation. Then we have also discussed how to estimate solar radiation on a horizontal surface and on a tilted surface. In the next session we would discuss the basic principle of the solar cooker and different type of solar cookers like box type solar cooker, hybrid solar cooker, window type solar cooker, dish type solar cooker, concentric solar cooker, community solar cooker. We would also discuss advantage and disadvantage of solar cooker. Then we will discuss material problem in the solar cooker, and we will also discuss factor which should be kept in mind using the solar cooker. Thank you very much.